and Flicker Wisp for like some tricky stuff, and he's got Mirran Crusader as another beater there.
A way to get the game over with. And he's going to start with an Aether Vial here on turn 1 through a Plains. We've seen a lot of Death and Taxes recently. When the Euros came through, Thomas and Voltson, Michael Bunde, those guys were playing at the Invitational to a lot of success. They had a fantastic record over that 2-day tournament. So we've seen some more Death and Taxes recently in Legacy.
Yeah.
We've not seen very much Mono Red Painter in Legacy, but this is a deck that Suarez likes quite a bit. He's sitting here at 7-1, unable to draw, but he's doing just fine so far in this tournament. We'll see if he can make the combination of Painter Servant and Grindstone, cards that we will certainly have to bring up on the screen for you guys at some point.
So as Aether Vial ticks up to 2, Travis adds a Rishadan Port and a Wasteland to his mana suite over there on the right side. Jonathan with just a pair of mountains.
This is exactly how he wants to start Dust Cowley. He wants to do the Aether Vial and then mess with his opponent's mana. Now he can start porting, he can start wastelanding. Suarez has a lot of basics in his deck. He has 10 mountains. He's got 3 fetch lands as well, and Scalding Tarn to be able to search for those mountains. And he has 4 City of Traders and 4 Ancient Tombs. Double lands, very important in his deck.
Yes.
So he can play Painter on turn 1 and then Grindstone on turn 2. If the draw actually allows for it.
Right.
That's kind of the nice thing about his deck is that he can he can just have a nut draw, just like 2-card combo, oops, you're dead, unless you have an Eldrazi in your deck.
So as you can see, Jonathan Suarez's land's being tapped by the port for the past couple of turns, and Travis now resolves a Stoneforge Mystic who searches up a Batterskull. No surprise there. Suarez has the Lightning Bolt, however, so that Batterskull will be stranded in Cowley's hand until he can access 5 mana or another Stoneforge Mystic.
The other cool thing about Suarez's deck, too, is you're going to see Cowley tap a Plains for a Mother of Runes there, is that he gets to play Red Elemental Blast and Pyroblast in his main deck because he just plays Painter Servant, name is blue, everything will be blue, and then he can just start firing away on those bad boys.
Yeah, very cool little interaction there. So a Mother of Runes is the play from Cowley as he taps down one of Suarez's mountains during his upkeep there. So you can see 3 mountains now available to Suarez.
Now, some of these Painter decks, there are some versions that are blue-red, and the blue ones sometimes play Trinket Mage to be able to search for Grindstone. You can actually go through the back door, through the side door, through the front door, which is Imperial Painter for Trinket Mage for Grindstone, and go through that way. It takes a little while.
Imperial Servant?
Or
no. You said Imperial Painter.
Yeah, Imperial Recruiter.
I'm sorry, just now I'm calling it the wrong name.
Yeah, Imperial Recruiter for Trinket Mage, and then Trinket Mage for the Grindstone, then play the Grindstone. Yeah, that's
I get you.
something you can do.
Yes. This deck is occasionally called Imperial Painter.
Yes.
That's another name for it.
So he's going to play Planar Sim, but he's going to name blue, and then he's going to Pyroblast and take care of the Aether Vial. That's the card that's being a little troublesome right now.
Yep. And so Aether Vial off the board cannot be protected by Mother of Runes.
Yes.
There you see Painter's Servant, a 2-mana artifact creature from Shadowmoor. It was a rare. It's a 1/3. You name a color when it comes into play, and everything is that color. So
dismember that, which is going to be difficult to do because Thalia is in the way. So Suarez says, that's going to cost 1 more. You don't have 1 more, so that's not going to happen. And now Suarez draws a Grindstone, which is perfect, because had Cowley organized his resources correctly, he would have went Dismember Your Guy, and then Thalia. Now Suarez peels Grindstone, has the Simian Spirit Guide, and is going to mill him out, because all the cards are going to share the same color. So Cowley makes a back-breaking error in that game. If he organizes his spells correctly,
literally dismember Thalia, you're good.
Instead of Thalia
dismember,
you're not
lose.
good. Yeah,
That's
and gets punished immediately. As far as peels Grindstone, activates it, all those cards he's turning over do share the same color of blue, and he's going to win game number 1.
We'll show you Grindstone here, because if you were just watching and trying to figure out, wait, what just happened?
Yeah.
We showed you Painter Servant, how it makes everything into 1 color, whatever color you choose. He says blue, and so Grindstone. This is the combo. You tap 3 and tap it, put the top 2 cards of target player's library into that player's graveyard. If both cards share at least 1 color, repeat this process. So everything's blue. So they're all going to share a color. So you just mill them out entirely. And that's it. That's the game. So Painter Grindstone, a 2-card combo that we've seen in Legacy since Painter Servant was printed in Shadowmoor. And the surrounding cards are usually what you see changing. This, I think, is the most popular version.
Yeah.
There are versions without the Imperial Recruiter, which is the most expensive card in the deck. That try to kind of get by without it. So, but essentially, you just try to put together the Painter Grindstone combo, and otherwise, that's your just primary game plan.
Well, we're going to take a look at Cowley's sideboard here. We'll see exactly what he can sideboard in. Now, he's got one Relic of Progenitus, one Sunlance, Enumizao Jite, and Manriki Gusari, Seal Cleansing, Lean and Relic Warder, Oblivion Ring. Those are all 1-0s. The 2-0s are 2 Enlightened Tutor, 2 Ethos, 1 Canvas, 2 Rest in Peace, and 2 Cataclysm. So he's got a small Enlightened Tutor package as well. Got a lot of good options here, oddly enough. You know, I like Sunlance being able to take care of the old Painter Servant. Deals 3 damage to a non-white creature.
Right.
Jite is fine. It's not great, but if you can get Jite active and have 3 counters on it, they can't ever really go off through it. Seal of Cleansing, also good here. Is out there to actually just to take care of a Grindstone or a Painter Servant.
Exactly,
So,
either one.
yeah, so it's versatile. Same thing with Lean in Relic Warder, same thing with Oblivion Ring. So all those cards are going to come in. You've got access to Enlightened Tutor to actually be able to use actually be able to find a lot of these cards. And then the rest of the cards, you know, Canonist, Rest in Peace, Cataclysm, not so much here. But the cards that you can't bring in, I actually think are quite good here.
Yeah, a lot more options than you'd expect. To some degree. Like, it's almost like he knew he was going to be playing against this deck, or at least suspected it, or he was aware of it. Maybe he has a friend that he playtests with that plays this deck, who knows? And so he's actually got a sideboard that can interact. Some of these are catch-alls, though. You think it's, you know, there's not like Sunlance only deals with Painter Servants.
Of course.
You know, and the same with Oblivion Ring. All these kind of one-ofs he's got here. A lot of them are just catch-alls and good against kind of a number of things. So
that's why you like versatile sideboards, my friend.
That's right. What do we got on the other side?
We're looking at Suarez's sideboard. 1 Pyroblast to go along with his 3 that are in main deck. 1 additional Goblin Welder. He's got 1 to search for with Imperial Recruiter in his main deck. 4 Throne of Amethyst, 4 Ensnaring Bridge, a Vexing Shusher, a Manic Vandal, a Magus of the Moon, and 2 copies of Ratchet Bomb. So you can see that his sideboard is really trying to use Imperial Recruiter the best it can. You know, it's got things that it can tutor up in Manic Vandal, Vexing Shusher, Magus of the Moon, and Goblin Welder. The card that really matters the most here to me, however, is Ratchet Bomb. Being able to just destroy a vial on 1, kill some things on 2. If you take a look at Death and Taxes and their mana curve, you know, 2 mana spells are Sarah, Avenger, Stoneforge Mystic, Phyrexian Revoker, Thalia Guardian, Thraben. You know, if he wants to set it at 3, there's Fiend Hunter, Mirren Crusader, Flicker Wisp. So there's a lot of different things that Ratchet Bomb can do in this matchup. I like it a lot here. Manic Vandal I also like quite a bit too. Plenty of artifacts to build up, as you can see. Between Revoker, he's got Vial, he's got Equipment. So Manic Vandal is going to be pretty nice. The rest of this stuff is kind of mediocre. If he wants to board into more removal, which is a strange thing to say, he can board into Pyroblast, because that's like a removal spell when there's a Painter Servant in play. So he can board into more of that if he wants to.
Yeah, I like this card here.
Oh, you like the Jaya Ballard?
Jaya Ballard Task Mage. That is a Time Spiral card.
She's real awesome.
She didn't see a lot of play in Standard back then, but very, very cool card. I think it's a 3-mana 2/2.
3-mana Deuce with 3 abilities.
Is it like a Spell Shaper, right? Isn't it like you discard and you get I forget what the 3 things are. We'll bring it up and we'll all remind ourselves. Artist Matt Cavada. I'm taking a guess.
Are you sure you're taking a guess? You don't know?
No, I don't know for sure. Artist Matt Cavada. That's my guess.
I'd like to believe it's Matt Cavada. We'll find out in a minute. I think it's a Pyroblast. It's Incinerate, and then it's an Inferno. I think those are the 3 abilities. You see a turn 1 Aether Vial.
Not a turn 1 Aetherling. That was yesterday.
Yeah,
it wasn't a turn 1 Aetherling.
here's a turn 1 Ancient Tomb. Here's a Sensei's Divine Top plus an activation. Okay.
You thought we were going straight into the combo.
I thought we were going straight into the combo.
Turn
Pedal to the metal.
Turn 1 Grindstone, turn 2 Painter, or the other way around.
He actually does have a Painter in his hand, too. But I like what he's going to do here, which is not play Painter until he has access to Red Elemental Blast or Pyroblast, so that he can name blue and then immediately counter a sword that's targeting us. Here is a Phyrexian Revoker.
We'll find out exactly what that Revoker is declaring.
There's actually a bunch of options for Revoker. Like, he can name Grindstone very easily, but, you know, right now, naming top is actually probably pretty appealing.
Yeah, it's a guaranteed hit as opposed to, a card that may not even be in Jonathan's hand.
He did name top.
So top is the name off of the Phyrexian Revoker.
It's a little bit risky.
It
could have just named Grindstone, just let him top away.
But he would have topped away into a way to deal with the Revoker. That's and true. Then landed the Grindstone. when the coast was clear. So Aether Vial ticks up after a Painter Servant comes down for Jonathan Suarez.
Naming blue, of course.
Yes, because of the prevalence of these red blasts, 3 red elemental blasts, 3 pyroblasts to main deck, an additional pyroblast in the board. He's likely to, and of course there you see a red elemental blast in his hand. He's very, very likely to name blue. Oddly, if he had named white, his creature's Sunlance proof.
Sequencing again here for Cowley, pretty poor. You know, he plays the Source of Plowshares, it gets countered, and he has a Thalia that he could have put through the Vial. So again, if he activates the Vial first to put Thalia into play, and then pays 2 mana for his swords.
Suarez can't counter.
Suarez can't counter because he doesn't have the mana.
Yeah.
The tricky Painter Servant deck. Not a lot of people don't have experience playing against this deck, so it doesn't really surprise me all that much.
Yeah, you don't see it too often. You see it every couple of opens, I think. You'll see it on camera.
3 mana?
Yeah, 3 mana from Suarez.
Shields are down. It's funny because he can search for some interesting cards here. He's got a lot of different cards he can search for. He can also just search for like the Simian Spirit Guide if he deems he wants like a red mana to be able to make at will to be able to counter something else because he has another one of those blasts in his hand.
Right. The Imperial Recruiter.
That one's expensive.
Yeah.
I played that one in a Grand Prix. That one's expensive.
It is quite expensive.
I double sleeve that deck.
Originally in one of the Portal sets,
Yeah.
3
That's
Kingdoms.
That's Portal 3K.
Yeah. I don't know much about the Portal sets because when they came out, I was like, I know how to play this game. I don't need the beginner sets.
Yeah, I wish I would have bought 800 boxes of that set.
Yeah.
Approximately.
It was obviously a misplay.
It's a Manic Vandal. That's what he's searching up. I like that.
And the play at the end of turn from Cowley is Aether Vial pumping out a Stoneforge Mystic, which will immediately search up Batterskull and I imagine drop it into play on his turn because that Stoneforge Mystic is only summoning sick until the very end of Jonathan's turn.
Yeah. So we could see a Batterskull coming into play. Of course, he has to time it correctly so it doesn't get blown up by the Manic Vandal. But I think Vandal's going to be going after. I have a feeling it's going to be going after Aether Vial, but he can certainly make an argument for going after Phyrexian Revoker to turn his top back on, so he can find a Grindstone and try to get this game over with.
So end of turn Stoneforge Mystic from Travis Cowley, and he untaps. Or backs up a second. Yeah.
Now he's going to untap.
Untaps, ticks the Vial up to 3.
In Cowley's hand right now, I believe he has a Fiend Hunter and a Mirran Crusader, and he just drew a Swords of Plowshares as well, so he's got a really, really nice hand.
Yeah, a lot of ways to not only interact with what Suarez has on board, but also pressure him with a card like Batterskull.
Yeah.
Let's see what the play is here.
I'm going to cast the Thalia.
Thalia off of 2 planes, so no Batterskull here. I expected the Batterskull there, honestly.
I mean, there's no reason to main phase it in.
Sure. I guess I meant, when I say there, I mean I expected the planes to be available to put the Batterskull in
on the end
this
step.
turn. Yeah, at some point, whenever he needed the Batterskull. So Thalia is hit with a red elemental blast.
So yeah, you see he's just going to count. He's going to counter Thalia. He's going to remove Simian Spirit Guide for a red mana, and then use red elemental blast to counter it because he has the necessary mana to do it. He would need an additional mana to do it if it had resolved already.
Right, Thalia was on the stack there. And countered by the red blast. That is because everything is blue. If you're just joining us, that Painter Servant has named blue, and that means everything is targetable by that red blast and pyroblast.
Looks like he's going to go Manic Vandal this turn. He could go Ensnaring Bridging too, because he has 2 of those in his hand. A little surprised to see him board those in, but I guess that the thought process is, once I have no cards in my hand, or at least 1 card in my hand, you're never going to be able to get to attack. So we're going to see a Vial get activated in response to Manic Vandal targeting it, and bye-bye goes Painter Servant via the Fiend Hunter.
So everything is back to its original color, and no longer blue.
Yeah, now it's back to being mono white versus mono red, the way it was meant to be.
Travis Cowley now down 1 Aether Vial, but he has taken care of that Painter Servant, so that's some progress. Looks like he wanted to cast a Mother of Runes there, but he changed his mind. I wonder if he's thinking that Batterskull.
I think he's leaving that Batterskull up, yeah. Ratchet Bomb. 2 Ensnaring Bridge and a Lightning Bolt here for Suarez.
So I think if I were Travis last turn, I would not have ticked the vial up to 3. I probably would have vialed out the Thalia and then had those planes available for the Batterskull last turn. There you see the Batterskull coming into play. There's a Ratchet Bomb. Of course, originally printed in Scars of Mirrodin, recently reprinted in M14. Jonathan Suarez has it in play now, and it can immediately deal with a Germ token.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how he's going to end up using Ratchet Bomb in this game, because like he can immediately take care of the Germ token, as you mentioned, or he can get it up to 2 to take care of Stoneforge Mystic and Revoker, or he can get up to 3 and get his Painter Servant back. But I think we're going to see some immediate chump blocking here from Suarez to just preserve his life total. Cowley can go up to 300 for all he cares. Doesn't matter to him. He's trying to mill him out.
Mother of Runes is the play from Cowley off of Plains.
I think if you're Cowley here, you want to get a touch more aggressive if you can. Ratchet Bomb going to go up. See a Lightning Bolt over there in Suarez's hand too. See if he's going to use this. Like, he's got some good options. Lightning Bolt. He could shoot the Revoker. He could take care of the Mother Rune so it can never get active. He can shoot the Revoker to get his top back in line. He can shoot the Fiend Hunter to get his Painter Servant back. So he actually got quite a decision to make.
Yeah, he's going to go for the Mother of Runes, which I think is probably the smart play, planning for the future, where, hopefully you find some removal or you find another Painter Servant. But Mother of Runes was going to really be a problem, I think, if he didn't take it out.
And
there's Ensnaring
Bridge will be the play.
Ensnaring Bridge, that's one of 2 copies in Suarez's hand. Originally printed in, what was that, Stronghold or
I believe that's Stronghold.
I feel like it's Stronghold.
Exodus is the bridge symbol.
Yes, so
yeah.
I just can't see it. It is Stronghold, yeah. So each creature with power greater than the number of cards in your hand cannot attack.
Yep.
So what that means is Suarez looks to have 1 card in hand. We know it's an Ensnaring Bridge. That means anything with power greater than 1 cannot attack.
That's correct.
That includes Germ, which is holding that Batterskull. Or anything that ends up picking up that Batterskull will not be able to attack.
So up to 2 goes the Ratchet Bomb, and then on Suarez's upkeep, he's going to blow up the Ratchet Bomb so that he can control his draw step via the top.
Yeah, Revoker goes away, top gets reactivated, and he immediately spins it, finds a Grindstone, and I think an Imperial Recruiter.
Yep, that's actually a really, really good top, because
yes.
those are basically 2 combo pieces.
Right, because the Recruiter just gets the Painter Servant.
Yep.
And so that's Painter Grindstone that you can put together right there. He has to do it in the right order, though.
Absolutely.
Because,
and he's going to want to do what he's going to want to do as well is he just wants to make sure that he keeps cards out of his hand so that Cowley can never attack him too.
Right.
So he's got a little bit of tension here about what card he should draw and what card he should play, because he wants to make sure that he always is underneath the threshold of not getting attacked.
So he plays out Grindstone, holds back that 1 extra Ensnaring Bridge because it doesn't really matter the multiple copies, and
Revoker.
I guess he doesn't care that one's attack or 1 power guy's attack. So for Exing Revoker though is going to very likely name Grindstone, I imagine.
I mean, it's kind of what we went through on turn 1, right? Do you
yeah.
want to name Grindstone? Do you want to name Top? Top will find the answer eventually, but Grindstone's something that's going to kill you. Draw a card with Top. Looks like you probably named Top. Drawing a card there is a little bit risky. Draw a card, top back. He named Grindstone.
I think he named Grindstone, yeah.
So what he did is he drew a card with Top before he named a card, and then he named Grindstone.
Because if he waited until it was named, he couldn't top.
Yeah.
So the cards in hand now: Imperial Recruiter, Sensei's Divining Top, which is now on the stack, and that extraneous copy of Ensnaring Bridge.
I think here you cast the other Ensnaring Bridge. And the reason for that is just like you don't because we know that that Cowley has cards like Seal of Cleansing and Oblivion Ring and stuff like that you just want to have a backup Ensnaring Bridge in play, and you also want to keep your hand size low.
Exactly, I agree. I think I'd have cast that Ensnaring Bridge probably 2 turns ago if I had the mana available.
You see Mountain, Simian Spirit Guide, and an Artifact.
Yeah, that artifact looks like it could be a Ratchet Bomb, could be a Painter Servant.
Yeah.
Only seeing a sliver of the artwork. So he untaps, draws his card for the turn.
It's a Revoker.
It looks like a Revoker, yeah. Okay, so we were wrong about both of those options.
Yeah, Mother of Runes.
Interesting.
We're going back and forth here, my friend.
Yeah, we are. We're certainly building up quite the muddled board here. Mother of Runes was the card named off of the Phyrexian Revoker, so right now Grindstone cannot be activated and Mother of Runes cannot be activated due to the Phyrexian Revokers on either side of the board.
You see now Cowley finally found his third land drop. He has Oblivion Ring and Flicker Wisp. Oblivion Ring, Flicker Wisp, and Mirren Crusader in his hand. So he can actually cast these 3-mana spells finally. And 2 of those cards are actually a really big deal right now. Flicker Wisp and Oblivion Ring are both fantastic in this situation. Flicker Wisp, a temporary answer to the Ensnaring Bridge, and Oblivion Ring, a permanent answer. But he's going to cast no spell, which is a touch surprising. I mean, he can leave up Swords of Plowshares this way.
Mountain is the first play here from Jonathan Suarez on this turn. Access to 5 mana. He's taking a peek through his sideboard there, I think.
Make sure he didn't make an error.
He could empty his hand. Oh, he couldn't empty his hand here. He doesn't have enough mana. He's going to cast the Imperial Recruiter. He's going to find. You see Jaya Ballard as an option. Yeah, Spellskite there.
I love the tutor package in this deck.
Yeah.
You can find anything.
Spellskite, another one of those cards that kind of seems so innocuous, but can be pretty troublesome. Jaya is the pick. And this is the card we were talking about before this game. As Travis Cowley reads it, we'll take a look at it as well. Matt Cavada, all right.
Well done. Well done. Pyroblast, Incinerates, and Inferno. I got it right.
You got it right too.
We are
Look at
so
that.
smart.
Yeah.
God.
What a team. Yeah,
How
so
do you guess Matt Cavada there?
I remember the art really well, and
All
I
right.
feel like it's the style of artwork that usually I can tell from, like if I can look that close at it. And I can remember Jaya Ballard's art.
That's fair.
I just couldn't remember for sure who the artist was.
Human Spell Shaper.
She's a cool character in the books too. I read.
Good guy or bad guy?
She's a good guy.
Okay.
I mean, she's one of those kind of roguish good guys, you know, like not all pure. That's why she's red and not white.
Sure.
But she's a good guy.
Mirren Crusader joins the battlefield. Sora's going to draw a card. Draws a Grindstone. Is he got maybe Inferno with that thing? No. There's no way. There's no way he would Inferno with that.
Well, it's in there for some reason. Probably the Pyroblast.
Yeah.
But, you know.
He's going to take 4. Alright, there's Jaya. And there's Grindstone, so he's only got 1 card left in his hand. It's that E-Bridge.
Jaya Ballard gets the Swords to Plowshares.
Couldn't get sorted fast enough. I don't think so. Looking untaps this Cowley. Again, looking at a hand of Flicker Wisp. Now it's double Flicker. I think it's back to Flicker Wisp, Crusader, and Oblivion Ring again.
So look at this board state. If you're just joining us, we're in Game 2 of the final round of the Legacy portion of the StarCityGames.com Open Series live from Baltimore. Travis Cowley down a game to Jonathan Suarez. Travis with Death and Taxes. He's got a Wasteland and 3 Plains in play. He's casting an Oblivion Ring. And what did that hit? The Ensnaring Bridge?
Absolutely.
I believe
The Ensnaring
so.
Bridge.
So the Ensnaring Bridge, now currently in Oblivion.
Yes. Suarez he's going to top first. He's got some blocking to do.
You're going to see Sensei's Divining Top being activated. Travis' side of the board, Mother of Runes, Phyrexian Revoker, which is naming Grindstone, Batter Skull with a Germ, Mirren Crusader, and Fiend Hunter, which is holding down a Painter's Servant.
Yep.
And on the other side of the board, Jonathan Suarez has a Phyrexian Revoker of his own, which is naming Mother of Runes. He's got an Ensnaring Bridge that is under an Oblivion Ring, and he's got double Grindstones that cannot be activated due to the Phyrexian Revoker on the other side of the board. He's got an Imperial Recruiter, which is currently jumping in front of a Germ token. He's got a Manic Vandal that is jumping in front of a Mirran Crusader, and just doing the chump blocks there. And that's how combat ends. A Wasteland post-combat from Travis will take out the Ancient Tomb, leaving Jonathan Suarez with just 3 mountains. He immediately casts Ensnaring Bridge.
Yeah, can't cast it
Travis
fast enough.
Cowley is back to being unable to attack, as Jonathan's final card in his hand off the top was a Scalding Tarn, and he plays that for the turn,
Now,
so empty-handed.
The big question here is, does he understand the interaction with his own Flicker Wisp? A lot of times with Flicker Wisp, you target your own stuff. He's going to play a Mirran Crusader and pass the turn back. If he Flicker Wisps that bridge, if you read Flicker Wisp, we'll bring it up on the screen for you guys. When it enters the battlefield, exile another target permanent. It's not a target permanent you control.
Right.
It's another target permanent. Return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step, so he can Flicker Wisp the bridge out of the way and finish the game off.
Yeah,
The question is, does Cowley see it?
Right, because it appears that he doesn't, considering he just played a different 3-drop, where he could have just, I think, won the game straight up.
And the reason that I know this is here comes Flicker Wisp. Target.
So, Flicker Wisp comes into play.
I'm interested. Does he know that he can target that bridge? Yes, he does.
He does,
All right.
and that should be game.
Everyone should get in the club here.
Yeah.
There we go.
Suarez.
Suarez blocks at the biggest guy, which is Batterskull, or it could be Mirran Crusader. He blocks the biggest creature. He takes 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. More than 8.
Yeah.
Basically. More
Seems
than 8.
quite out of reach for him to protect himself enough to live through this attack.
This time, unless we're missing something.
Right, well, he's going to top. Actually, he's going to flip top. He's got a Lightning Bolt for the Fiend Hunter.
He's going to get Painter Servant. Oh my.
Painter Servant comes back.
He's going to block that.
It looks like blocking the Revoker.
I still think he might be dead, though. 2, 4, 6, 8. He takes 9. Yeah, I don't think there's a set of blocks. He has to put Painter Servant in front of something he doesn't want to put it in front of, right? Like he puts both the guys in front of the Crusader. He takes 4, 5, 6, 7, goes to 1. Yeah.
Yeah, that looks like the block. He's blocking both Crusaders with Phyrexian Revoker.
But what this means is that he doesn't die.
Right.
And that's actually all that matters in this situation, that he does not die. Because he takes 4, 5, 6, 7, he'll go down to 1. You can't use Ancient Tomb or the Fetch Land, but if he blocks this way, yeah, he blocks both the Crusaders, or just 2 guys that would deal about 4 points of damage.
Right.
He goes down to 1, but then the bridge comes back.
It does.
Yeah.
So this is a good way to stay alive.
He's
Yeah.
safe, but
something
he
we
has
didn't-
to keep his hand empty.
Yeah, so this is going to be interesting. Yeah, at 1 life. This is pretty intense. I love it. See, the thing is, he's not dying, but how is he winning? He needs to find a way to deal with Revoker. His draw for the turn obviously is going to be top.
I'm trying to figure out what the card is in his hand.
I think it's an Imperial Recruiter.
That's not good. He needs to empty his hand.
Yeah, he's got access to 3 mana.
Like what he needs to do right now, yeah, he has access to 3, not 4, because of Scalding Tarn.
He just searches up Simian Spirit Guide and then plays top.
Joey P. Joey P. Let's see if he sees it, because I missed it.
Oh, are there more Simian Spirit
Yeah,
Guides?
he plays 4.
Okay, just making sure. I don't have the list. You had the list
Yeah.
covered by your iPad over there.
Yeah, you're 100% right. That's what he has to do to empty his hand. Oh no, he's gonna play top. No. If he draws a land, he's okay.
Yeah, that's true. It's another way. He drew.
Oh, not that land. Ancient Tomb, not you.
No.
Not you, my friend.
So we're going to game 3 here between Travis Cowley and Jonathan Suarez. That was pretty cool there at the end, though.
Wow.
I mean, that board got ridiculous.
That board got completely insane. The fact that he was able to stay alive that turn and go to 1 and actually still have a chance to win was pretty fantastic. And yeah, I mean, trying to figure out what your outs are to get both cards out of your hand, it's
we
kind
weren't
of
aware
strange.
of the lightning bolt on top. So,
No,
you know,
no.
I mean, we thought there was no way out.
Yes,
when
of
he
course.
tops into the lightning bolt, he was aware of it.
Yep.
Was able to deal with one of the creatures and get another blocker back, which was an awesome little play there to not only deal with one attacker but another because of being able to chump block. So lives through the turn, goes to 1, but yeah, like you said, needs to empty his hand, and that's tough to do with only 3 mana.
Yeah, he couldn't figure out how. I mean, you actually came up with the perfect line to keep him alive for subsequent turns, because not only that, like, not only does he get to play Imperial Recruiter, get Spirit Guide, remove it for a red,
So he plays top. Then.
Yeah, plays top, but then he can control his draw set to make sure that he always has 0 cards in his hand.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that could have allowed him to live basically until Travis found another way to deal with the Ensnaring Bridge, or he found both a painter and a way to deal with a Revoker.
Yeah.
So it was still not looking great for Suarez, but it would have bought him some more turns. Might be better for him here to be going to game 3 at this point, because what if this game ended up going another 10 minutes and then went to game 3 and neither player has a chance to close it out.
So game 3 it is, and this is fitting. It should be a game 3 to see who's going to end up making top 8 between these two players. What a heck of a game that game was. Jeez.
That was one. I think that was my favorite match I've seen in Legacy all day, or the favorite not match, favorite game.
Yeah, I mean that was
I've seen in
definitely the
Legacy
best
all day.
game I've seen in Legacy.
I thought
like,
we had
the
a really
BBD
good
game
one.
was
That
insane
was
between
really good.
Pakula.
Yeah.
I don't know. This one was like kind of more fun because it's two decks you don't really see a lot of. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that makes it like insane to me.
Right, it's like a puzzle you're trying to put together when you're not, you're somewhat familiar with all the pieces and trying to figure it all out. That's kind of how I described the Storm deck earlier too, where it's a puzzle you're trying to put together. But that's what I love about Legacy, because there are so many strange interactions and lines of play. But Travis Cowley evens things up and makes a match of it here against Jonathan Suarez. We're in round 9 of 9, 284 players here in Baltimore for the StarCityGames.com Legacy Open Series. I'm Joey Pasco in the booth with Cedric Phillips.
Hello, everybody.
Who, among other things, has signed a face this weekend.
I have signed a face.
Signed somebody's face.
That is a thing that did happen. I signed a face.
I don't know what's more interesting. Okay, so you signed a face. That's pretty crazy. You also visited Noodles and Company about a dozen times.
The answer is 5. Working on 6 tomorrow.
There you go, a half dozen.
Yep.
I mean, you're planning on the 6th time.
Why have shame? Why have any?
Why?
I know who I am.
I mean, is that really that bad going to this? You know what you like, and it's right there, and you go.
We don't have Noodles and Company in Seattle, so I have to
capitalize on the.
I gotta get it in. I gotta get in there, man. I
do you always order the same thing?
No. I try.
That's good.
I try a lot of different items there. They have a diverse is, I guess, appropriate. Their menu is diverse enough.
Yeah, it is. It's very diverse. I was telling you, I think I was telling you yesterday, like, I hadn't been to Noodles and Company in years. Then we got it yesterday, and guess what I went and got today?
Yeah.
So I did order the same thing.
It is a delight.
But I liked what I get. Is this really that much worse than me going to Starbucks constantly? But I order the same thing.
I don't think so. I'm not a Starbucks guy. Now that I live in Seattle, I'm off it.
Yeah?
I don't like it.
Interesting.
I like to go to, there's a local coffee shop I like to go to that they make a mean chai latte.
Yeah?
That's the drink for me. Plus, I like hate coffee, so.
Yeah. I get a soy latte, which is a coffee-esque kind of.
That's very Seattle. You'd fit in. With any double shots of anything, like, I don't even know what any of that stuff means.
I just get a venti soy latte. That's what I get. Straight up.
That gets you. Is that how you start all of your days?
Pretty much.
Are you like? Do you visit Starbucks like on the drive to work?
Almost all the time. Or there's another Starbucks addict at work, and I get there, and that's when he usually wants to take like a break. So he walks to Starbucks and usually just picks it up for me.
That
awesome.
Is
if I didn't go on the way myself. So
that's really cool.
It is.
I can dig it.
It is. What's the name of your local coffee shop?
Oh God.
Oh come on! It's your local shop that makes a mean chai latte. You're stumped. It's not Stumptown, is it?
It's the
Stumptown Coffee. That's
I'm pretty sure it's Urban Coffee House.
Okay.
Yeah. The funny thing is, it's across the street from a Starbucks, and everyone goes to the Urban Coffee House.
Well, you know, people like their local
They do.
kind of thing, mom
They
and
do.
pop kind of shops, non-chain restaurants. I think that's a thing. So, a ratchet bomb on turn 1 from Suarez off of an Ancient Tomb. He immediately ticks it up to 1. In response, well, not necessarily in response, but Cowley playing a turn 1 Mother of Runes, and that's an appealing target for a ratchet bomb.
Suarez's hand is super interesting. He's got City of Traders, Painter's Servant, 2 Red Blast, and a Simian Spirit Guide. So he doesn't actually have any red mana. And the question he's probably asking himself is, can I afford to play Painter's Servant right now? Because if he appeals Grindstone, Cowley's dead.
Well, he's going for it.
Yeah.
City of Traders taps for that Painter's Servant, naming blue.
Look at this, a Fiend Hunter off the top.
Rishadan Port is the land,
There's a
and
Revoker.
Phyrexian Revoker.
I don't know what he's going to name with Revoker. Again, we saw the situation last time where you could choose top or you could choose Grindstone. He has the option now between Ratchet Bomb or
Grindstone.
or Grindstone. Oh, he's going to just kill it. Are we hoping to peel the old... hoping to peel the Grindstone? Didn't get
He
there.
peeled a red mana, though.
Yeah. I think he has to play that now, too. Which is kind of awkward, because I think he like, needs to play that and lose the
Lose the city.
city just so that he can have access to Red Blast. I think it's actually necessary.
I agree. The city is... I mean, I think the red blast is more valuable than the additional mana,
Yep.
but... Especially considering he's got the Painter. He's trying to protect the Painter.
It's one of... I think he has the Fiend Hunter in his hand. The one of Fiend Hunter has been insane if he has it.
Looks like he's going with something different. He
Revoker.
has Revoker number 2, and that one has to resolve because Suarez did not play that mountain and is unable to cast the Red Blast. The good news for Suarez is he can play Mountain Red Blast on the Revoker because it can just target a blue permanent.
Yep. Here's a backup Painter, so that's good. And Ratchet Bomb was the card that was named Revoker, so Ratchet Bomb is going to sit there. It can't do anything, and as a result, Mother Runes can actually protect things now.
What it can't protect is Travis Cowley from the Painter Grindstone combo.
That's correct.
Travis is going to have to find another way to protect himself from that. And as you see, City of Traders goes to the graveyard as the mountain comes into play. That's how City of Traders works.
So now he's got access to the Red Blast. Cowley's got lands. Cowley's got some real cards to play, though.
Yeah, I believe that is that
Yeah,
Fiend Hunter.
it's the one of Fiend Hunter in his main deck.
Wayne Reynolds. I believe that's the artist on Fiend Hunter. There you see Fiend Hunter.
I would probably counter this. Yeah, see, I want to counter it because
Wayne Reynolds.
Wayne Reynolds, you were close. I want to counter it because
I
like
wasn't close. It's
he-
exactly what I said.
Oh, okay. because he has so many different ways to go about killing stuff. Here's Lee in a Relic Order. Yeah, because now he has to counter this.
Yeah.
I think I'd be more comfortable having 2 on the board than 1.
Right. Well, had he countered the Fiend Hunter, the Relic Order would have just got 1. So he's kind of in the same situation anyway, right?
Well, he drew another blast last turn. What do you draw now? Spellskite. Spellskite's insane right now.
Wow.
Now he's just like now he's never going to be able to get to the Painter, or it's going to take 2 removal spells
Right.
now. So like that's actually an insane draw. Wasteland's the draw. That's an insane draw for Cowley because now you can Wasteland the Tomb and then port the Mountain, and Suarez just has no mana.
Yeah, Cowley fighting a good fight over here.
There's a Sarah Avenger.
Sarah Avenger card that you don't see super often. It's a 2-mana 3/3 flyer, but it can only be played on, I believe, turn 3 or later. Is that
Yep,
correct?
can't play it on the first, second, or third turn.
Oh, so you can only
fourth
play it on turn 4 or later. So Red Blast takes care of that. There you see. Scott M. Fisher, the artist on that.
Did you know that one?
I actually did know that one,
Yeah.
and I
Yep.
should have said it, but you know,
And here's Mirror
it's getting old, I guess. Flying Vigilance, also, yeah. So that's a pretty awesome creature once you've got it on board. The problem is you can't cheat it into play, early off of, mana. It's a cheap spell, but you have to play it later. That's
Yeah.
my point. Mirror Crusader.
Comes in for 4. Gonna tap 2 mana. Gonna play Thalia. Suarez gonna look at his hand. Nothing of use.
Says okay.
Pass a turn back. Suarez draw a card. Does not get ported. Passes. Cowley needs to be porting him on his upkeep. Do not give him the chance to peel something of relevance.
That was a port at the end of your turn
Yeah.
play, so Travis at least has his turn available. Suarez at 12 is going to take another hit from the Crusader.
Upkeep port, okay.
There you go, upkeep port, and Suarez hiding his hand from us pretty well. We're unable to tell
the
what
cards
he's got.
must not be very good. Port number 2 is the draw. He's also got a Sarah Avenger over there too. And Schadenport is going to make it real hard because here comes Crusader again. This Spellskite has to block now. Here's a Sarah Avenger, and he has a Source of Plowshares in his hand too. I'm going to tap on the upkeep.
Yeah, port your mountain, and I think it's pretty much over here for Suarez.
Yeah, I don't think he can get back into this. It's just too big of an army. Source of Plowshares number 2 is the draw. So now, going to get that out of the way. He's going to extend the hand. So Travis Cowley is going to win the match 2-1 over Jonathan Suarez. Death and Taxes is moving on to the top 8 over Mono Red Painter.
Yeah, that was an exciting match. I really loved game 2, just the way
me too.
that kind of went back and forth and made it kind of just a battle for both players to try to figure out who's going to come away with the win here.